Hi, I'm Patrick Risley. I'm pastor and teaching elder here at First Presbyterian Church, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and welcome to today's daily devotional that we call This One Thing, where we read the Daily Common Lectionary and we pick a text that has one thing special to say to us today. Well, today our text is Matthew chapter 24, verses 4 and 5. Matthew 24, verses 4 and 5. Let me read them to you. Jesus is talking to his disciples. He's in Jerusalem, awaiting to be betrayed. Jesus says, "Watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name claiming, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you're not alarmed." Jesus is speaking to his friends at a time when the world feels upside down. Wars, rumors of wars, plagues, pandemics, locusts, like we've been having in Europe, or rather in Africa. Times have turned up on their head. And when times get turned up on their head, our propensity is to take our eye off the mark. We get easily distracted and stray off from where we're normally supposed to be headed. And Jesus realized this. He says, at the end of times, at the fruition of time, things are going to start really hitting the fan. And you're going to have a short attention span, and you're going to fall for people who say they represent me, but they really don't. Well, I guess the question for you and me is, how do we know who is who? How do we know those who are portraying the real Christ and Jesus as opposed to those pseudo-Christs, those fake Jesuses that he warns us about? How can we make sure that we focus on the right thing? Well, oftentimes in our relationship with Jesus, we like to base on our Jesus on how he makes us feel. If I feel good, Jesus is good. And I would caution that how Jesus makes us feel may not be the best indicator of the Jesus we're supposed to be following. You got to remember, the devil, when he was tempting Jesus, was trying to make him feel good. Jesus had to choose a more practical, strategic, thoughtful way. So too do we. You see, this one thing today, my friends, is that it's not how Jesus that makes me feel that points to the Christ. Rather, how we make others feel in the name of the Jesus we love and worship and adore points to the real Christ. How we make others feel determines the name, the face, the Jesus that is true God of true God. Let me explain. First of all, it's a question of attitude. How do we make others feel in the name of Jesus? Do we show humility? Or are we full of pride, hubris, fail to listen? It's also an arc of God's character. What type of character do we display? How do we understand God's character to be displayed to other people? Throughout the New Testament, the arc of God's character is love. So when people encounter you and me, are they feeling love or the opposite of love, which isn't hate, it's worse. The opposite of love is apathy, no feeling at all. And finally, it's a calling. Friends, when we make others feel as though they are in the presence of Christ, are we reconciling, bringing people together? Or are we causing division, divisiveness, anger, strife, us, them, me, you, either or? My friends, I venture to say, others can distinguish the real Jesus in our swirly world by how we portray his attitude, his character, and calling. That's through humility, through love, and through reconciling others to each other and to God. Friends, I will see you Sunday. Love you.